Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chief Executive of Business SA, Mr. Nigel McBride.
To the Honourable Malcolm Turnbull MP, Prime Minister of Australia, welcome. Sir, we're pleased to have you here and we're looking forward to what you have to say today. Of course, we all know that South Australia has gone through and continues to go through a very fundamental business transformation and economic transformation. Now, we know the level of this transformation and the speed of this transformation is unprecedented. Why is it unprecedented? Because we've never seen global changes like we've seen in these past few years, and we've never seen things like digital disruption occur at the pace that it occurs. So it's not only the size of this transformational time in our economy, it's the pace and the speed that has been incredibly challenging right across our industries. But you know what? With all of the things that are happening, with all of the digital disruption, the economic disruption, the global pressures, we can either see that as a huge challenge, and in many ways it is, or we can see it as an unprecedented opportunity to get into new global markets. And so today, if we have the agility, if we can respond, if we have the self-belief to get into these amazing new global markets using the same pathways that have exposed us to global competition, then we have an extraordinary opportunity to build our economy and to provide sustainable jobs going forward. So, if there was ever a time for us to look forward, if there was ever a time for us to see new opportunities in a new way, if there was ever a time for us to reimagine what the future of South Australia might look like, ladies and gentlemen, that time is now.
There was a moment in 2016 when the South Australian business community hit a tipping point. A moment when we decided to stop playing victims to a globalised economy. A moment when a voice cut through. A voice that called for courage. A voice that called for confidence. A voice that lit a spark and ignited the self-belief we needed to see the potential in those free trade superhighways. To forget the predictable road and instead play to our strengths, our creativity, our passion, our vision and our diversity. To make Adelaide one of the most socially and creatively attractive cities on the planet. That voice was an organisation with 178 years of experience that seized the imperative to lead, that embraced 21st century digital tools and skills and reaffirmed its mission to ensure the success of the state's business community, so that all South Australians could enjoy unprecedented levels of sustainable prosperity for generations to come. Business SA, working for your business, working for South Australia.
Thanks for the applause, ladies and gentlemen. We thought it was inspirational. What of course you've seen is an aspiration. It's an aspiration for our economy, it's an aspiration for our kids, it's an aspiration for the business community here. But what's also important is it's an aspiration for Business SA. We want to be that voice that actually gets behind the business community in this state and speaks of self-belief and confidence, that actually says we can do it. We can go and seize those opportunities that are amazing that are out there. We as Business SA want to be that voice. We want to be the kind of support for our business community that will make a difference. And look, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, I hope we all share the hope that we'll look back one day and say, yeah, in 2016, there was that moment, that spark, that pivot that started to change the future of South Australia. We began to see ourselves not as victims of a global economy, but as people who can take those pathways into fabulous new markets, and that will begin the change. I also hope we look back to a time of extraordinary collaboration across industries, across universities, across governments, where we don't see a business partner down the road or people down the road as a competitor, but as a partner and a collaborator. Ladies and gentlemen, when the global middle class starts to really understand what South Australia's got to offer, we will need to collaborate in a way that we've never collaborated before to meet the sheer mass of that global scale. I also look forward to, in a few years' time, looking back maybe in my dotage and saying, you know, in 2016, South Australia said, we're not afraid to look at extraordinary opportunities, nor are we afraid to look at controversial opportunities. And there's a big controversial opportunity on our plate at the moment, but we're not afraid to investigate it. We're not afraid to set ourselves up to actually say we can solve some of the world's problems, and in fact, in doing so, create prosperity for generations. I think we're up to it. I think we've got an extraordinary history of innovation and Nobel Prize winners that we should look back to. Okay, while South Australia is the heartbeat of what we do, because we're Business SA, we're also part of an amazing country. We're part of one of the strongest brands in the world, Brand Australia. To me, Brand Australia speaks of a spirit of being an entrepreneur, freedom, fairness, and the ability to plot our own economic course. That's an amazing brand that we share. And also, we share a passion with our fellow chambers of commerce right across this country. All of the peak chambers of commerce, that we share this passion to see that business is empowered so we create prosperity for generations to come. We work really closely together as peak chambers of commerce under our umbrella, the Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Our shared mission is to deliver that prosperity together to that business community for generational prosperity to come. Now, that's one thing to have a shared purpose, but we want to share that in a brand. So today I'm delighted that we're going to reveal a new brand for Business SA. It's not a logo, ladies and gentlemen, please don't call it a logo. It's a shared identity and a shared passion across the chamber movement. And I'm so pleased on behalf of my board, on behalf of our members, for us today to reveal to you a very bold brand statement that I hope you will see going forward as all of the aspirations in that last creative. We want to be that organisation, and can I say thank you for coming today, and I hope you enjoy this brand reveal.